Hey everybody, this is Ben Hansen with MinnMax. We're a Patreon about games, friends, and getting better, which you might know, but we're also about celebrating cool gaming stuff that's right in our backyard here in Minnesota. This last weekend, Minneapolis actually hosted the big seasonal kickoff for the Call of Duty League, highlighting the newest Call of Duty League team, the Minnesota Rokkr. If we just keep adding sports teams in Minnesota, one of them has to break through and be good, right? Honestly, I was really honored that the kind folks over at Rokkr invited MinnMax to tour the esports team's new headquarters, which is actually connected to the Minnesota Vikings training facility. And so the Rokkr team is owned by the same family that owns the Vikings. And there's also a minority ownership from this guy named Gary V.
My great ambition since I was probably 11 is to own the New York Jets. This is going to be a great practice.
During the tour, I learned that the team's new headquarters is 11,000 square feet and they spent over $2 million on the construction of it. So it's almost as nice as MinnMax's freezing basement studio. It's really fascinating to see the moneymakers from the world of sports eyeing up the potential of esports for the future and starting to place big bets on where the entertainment field's going. The money is obviously pouring into the esports world, with professional Call of Duty players making somewhere around what a U.S. senator makes. A lot of local media was invited to the headquarters tour as well. And the Rokkr staff, including local Call of Duty superstar and Rokkr's content director, Midnight, they were tasked with the mission of explaining over and over and over again to the rest of the media how esports are not that different from real sports. Paid to play video games? Heavens to Betsy. Here's where we book talent, just like a real sports team. Here's where we review game film, just like your daddy's sports. Oh, and here's where our players can sleep in cute little bunk beds we call bed pods with rainbow sheets. You get the idea. I was excited to see it, but they're not quite ready yet. But they are building out a video studio there and also a podcast room. They've actually really been enjoying their official podcast called Building Call of Duty Rokkr. It even featured Game Informer's original Rokkr, Andy McNamara. Then there was actually the big event itself at the Armory in downtown Minneapolis. The glitz, the glamour, everyone who was anyone was there. They didn't just let any riffraff into the... Oh, welcome Serial! No, Serial, no. I was really impressed by the event. It was a really great production. They had bands, snacks, pretty people, cameras on wires, and sweet Jesus, living nightmares. In the basement of the event, they had an amateur tournament going on with competitors hoping to make a name for themselves and be swept up and tucked into those esteemed bed pods. There's a lot of fun side activities, taking a photo here, joining the army here. There seemed to be some sort of art competition for the ugliest controller. Have you ever wanted to know what it's like to drive a vehicle with a Rokkr logo on the side of it? They had a simulation ready to go.
It's weird.
All right, enough of this guy. All right, let's get to the star of the show, though. The players on the Minnesota Rokkr team. There's Asim, the cute one. Silly, the serious one. Alex, the silly one. Assault, the one who thought it'd be a good idea to name himself Assault One. Now, I know I should be numb to the whole, wow, esports thing at this point, but honestly, going to this event, it was one of those, wow, esports moments. They've got the money, they've got the momentum, they've got the unused Tapper arcade cabinet in the basement, they've got it all. I talked to a random attendee for a bit at the event, and he loved it. He said it was really validating to love Call of Duty so much and been following the esports scene for so many years and trying to explain to his parents what this was, and then actually having an event, a big event here in Minneapolis, and an official team with a cool, freaky, spooky logo and merch, just to be able to show that to his parents. He said it was really validating, and they said oh, actually, it seems like your interests are a real thing. And by the way, please buy us some of that sweet Rokkr merch.
Desperation time for the Gorillas. They gotta fly towards the hill, but where are you gonna go? It's gonna be home. The Minnesota Rokkr. The first match in their home city, coming away with the win.
So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the future of Rokkr. I think it's great to have another force in Minnesota here to celebrate games and really bring folks together. From in-depth game club discussions with the community to live streams every single week, weekly podcasts, exclusive videos, everything under the sun is at patreon.com/MinnMax2Ns. Check it out, everybody.